Brazil is literally going through a coup attempt.
They came. I thought it would say, "Oh, I'm in the water."
Yeah, this is still a developing story, even as I make this video right now. But I do have some information and some context. This riot was caused by supporters of former President Jair Bolsonaro, who recently lost to current President Lula da Silva in the recent presidential election. Clearly, they're not taking the loss well, so that's why they decided to attack the multiple branches of federal government in Brazil. And you know, as an American, I gotta say this sounds really familiar. And if you're wondering if anybody was hurt, yeah, the people on the ground were hurt, the protesters, some police, and so on and so forth, as far as I know. But no politician was hurt. Lula was in a different city at the moment, so Lula's chilling. Well, you know what? I take that back. Lula's not exactly chilling, okay? He made a response to the riot, and in that speech, he said he's going to really crack down on the nonsense, essentially. The people that did the riot are going to get in trouble. Even the police that were complicit are going to get in trouble. And I think that's a really strong approach, and I'm glad to hear it. But look, if we really want the context, let's figure out who caused this to happen. It was this guy. It was this guy, 100%. Nearly 100% of the blame I put on Bolsonaro, bro. Bolsonaro did the same thing Donald Trump did in the lead up to the election, claiming that the election was going to be rigged, it was going to be stolen from him, even though his government was the one in power. Now what? Just like Donald Trump supporters, many of Bolsonaro's supporters do believe that the election was rigged. Lo and behold, a riot happens. So what has Bolsonaro been up to since he lost the election? Rather than being present at the inauguration and being part of a peaceful transition, he's decided to run away to the wonderful state of Florida, where he's currently living with a former MMA fighter, Jose Aldo, whose biggest moment in his career was getting knocked out by Conor McGregor.
Smiling. Oh! Jesus!
He probably did this move to avoid any potential criminal charges, and I assume that the criminal charges would be for attempted insurrection. But hey, now that it happened, what's to come? Well, I would hope to see Lula be strong in the response, especially compared to how the Democrats responded to the Republican insurrectionists in America. We were horribly weak over here, and now we have a situation where many Republicans still believe the election was stolen, and many Republican politicians get to run on that idea, and they get to do so freely. Undermining democracy is practically an official part of the Republican manifesto, and that's a pretty big issue, okay? My hope is that the response from Brazil is strong enough so that politicians and the right-wing political movement over there doesn't believe they can run on this idea, doesn't believe they can undermine democracy. Make an example of the rioters and anybody that was complicit, put them in jail, give them real punishments. I'm also hoping that this weakens the right wing in Brazil and strengthens Lula's administration. Lula already has a record of helping people. He lifted 20 million people out of poverty in the past, okay? He can do some similarly good things as president now, and even though this is probably a dark moment, you know, an attack on democracy, I think that there's some good in this. It is the case that the right wing is weaker, and it is the case that the left and Lula are stronger. I think it gives Lula a lot more political clout and ability to get things done. And it would be very funny, if Bolsonaro supporters were the reason why Lula comes into the presidency, starts his presidential term strong and with more executive powers. It would be absolutely hilarious. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Hopefully things settle themselves and the situation gets better in Brazil. I'm rooting for all of you there. I'm rooting for Lula to succeed, and I'm rooting for the criminals to get in some serious trouble. Thanks for watching. If you could subscribe, I would really appreciate it. See you later.